This is Bria
and Shay,
and welcome to the
Laborhood.
Oh, so excited!
I can't believe we're here.
Season one, episode 1, the pilot. Ooh, I hope y'all like it, y'all. Welcome to the Laborhood, guys, where we are going to be talking about everything involved in birth, from the beginning to the end and all the other stuff in between.
All the juicy bits in between. Close to complete.
There it is. There we go. So we're going to start with just introducing ourselves, letting you guys know who we are, what kind of credentials we got, because y'all going to be like, girl, I don't know you, and how do I know that you can tell me all this stuff? But that's why we're here. We're going to let y'all know who we are. And yeah, I'm going to let Shay start.
Jump right in.
Yeah, I'm going to let Shay start.
Hi, everybody. My name is Shay. I am a certified nurse midwife.
Period.
And I was a L&D nurse for 6 years prior to becoming a midwife. A little bit about me and my journey. So my nursing career began in December of 2016, where I graduated from the illustrious Winston-Salem State University. And I started my first nurse job. I originally wanted to be a NICU nurse. Don't come for me. However, the program that I went through gave me the opportunity to go through all of women's health, and I hit OB first and never looked back.
Thank God.
And then I transitioned into a charge nurse role in 2019. And then I started travel nursing in April of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And I traveled for the last 2 years until I got my master's degree from Frontier Nursing University in Versailles, Kentucky, where I became a certified nurse midwife.
Yeah.
I also have dibble-dabbled all over. I've been in small hospitals, large hospitals, teaching hospitals. I've been in low resource access hospitals. I've done in-hospital birth, out-of-hospital birth. I worked at a birth center for 2 years part-time. And now as a midwife, I do it all, literally. I do it in every position. I'm gonna get that on a t-shirt. I do prenatal care, GYN care. I do maternity admissions, which is kind of like a emergency room for pregnant women. I do labor, birth, postpartum, antepartum. I literally do it all.
She really does it all.
I really do it all.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. So my name is Bria. I also am a 2015 graduate of the Winston-Salem State University. Where I received my Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I then went on to get my master's degree from Western Governors University in December of 2020. So a little bit about me, like in my career. Like I said, I graduated in 2015. I started out as a cardiac telemetry nurse. Baby, I did my 1 year and got on up out of there. And started working in labor and delivery in 2016. And that is where I have been since. Unlike Shay, I always knew I wanted to work in labor and delivery, literally since I was 8 years old. I don't know if y'all remember like the TLC shows, like A Baby Story.
Oh, yeah.
That was my show. At 8 years, imagine an 8-year-old sitting in front of the TV watching that. My mom was like, okay, girl, if that's your thing.
If you do what you want to do.
If that's your thing, girl, okay. But yeah, so I knew very early on I wanted to work in L&D. Just was waiting for my opportunity. And in 2016, it came around and I got in there, and that is where I've been. I've worked in big hospitals, small hospitals, teaching hospitals. So I've worked in a lot of capacities as well. Like I've been a staff nurse, I've been a charge nurse, and now I'm a travel nurse. So I have dipped and dabbed in a whole lot of things. But I love all things OB, whether it's laboring a patient, triaging a patient. I really like the OR. So I have seen babies come out in all different ways, the sunroof and the basement. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of how we got to this point. That's where I met Shay when I started working in labor and delivery. That's how we
Hi.
became friends and kind of just added to the group. There's a few others of us that you might know. You might hear from them later on. But yeah, so that's how we got to this point in both of our careers.
You want to talk about how we got started?
Yeah, and how we got to this point. So obviously we are here because we are aware of the Black maternity mortality rate and how it is much higher than white and non-Hispanic women here in the United States. And so that kind of prompted me and Shay. Obviously, we've seen a lot and we've done a lot. We've worked in many different patients, very sick patients, very low risk patients. And so what we have seen throughout the years is that there is a gap somewhere that needs to be filled, whether it's with providers, whether it's with patients. There's a gap between providers and patients when it comes to, I guess, patients having a voice, patients knowing what their choices are,
Yep.
and being educated on just pregnancy in general and what to expect and the things that they might not expect. But there's a gap there, and that gap really needs to be filled because I think once that is filled and patients start to know more and they're made aware of the choices that they have, I feel like we can change that number. I feel like we can change that number. And so that's where we came up with the Laborhood. We were literally just talking one day.
It's always started as a joke.
It literally started as a joke. We were not serious
Not
at all.
planning
Especially
on
if
doing
you
it.
know us for real. We are very unserious all the time. And so it was just kind of like, we really could
Like, oh, I'm gonna start a podcast.
We gonna start a
People need to
podcast
know.
because people need to know. There's so much people need to know, and not just patients, but like patients' families need to know, and even providers need to know.
Providers, nurses,
nurses need
doctors,
to know.
residents.
There are things that
Everybody
from both sides that people need to know, and it's like, what better way to do that than to just get on a mic and put it online for people to listen to and to start to like listen to these different stories and things like that and realize like, wow, I didn't know it was like that.
Yep.
I didn't know it was like that. So that's how we got here. I also would just like to, we're just
gonna put these things out here.
Put this little part
we're
out
gonna put
here.
It on the table.
We're gonna put this part right here on the table. This is a pro-choice podcast. And when I say pro-choice, I mean not just whether you decide to have a baby or not, but how you want to give birth.
Wow, pause for the cause. We just lost like 7 viewers. That's fine.
I mean, that means you ain't meant to be here, that's okay. That's okay.
Continue.
Listen, that's okay. But this is a pro-choice podcast, whether that every aspect, whether that choice is to breast or bottle feed, whether that choice is to go unmedicated or you want an epidural, whether that choice is to have a vaginal delivery or a C-section delivery, whether that choice is to have a midwife take care of you or an OBGYN take care of you. You have a choice, and we are here to help you know what your choices are.
Yep. And that includes, while we're talking about pro-choice, that includes the choice if you want to have a baby or not.
Or not.
Period.
Do you want to be on birth control or not?
Or not.
Or do you want to have an abortion or not? Baby, it's your choice.
It's your choice, and we wholeheartedly 1,000%.
We gonna sit beside you.
We support you. We support you.
That's your man. That's him. I'm gonna stick beside him. Yeah, man. We're gonna stick beside you.
We're sticking beside y'all.
We're gonna stick beside you. Our job on this podcast is to inform you of all the choices that you have, the risks and the benefits, and then support you in the choice that you make.
Yep.
So, baby, it's really your world. We just living in it.
You know what? That's really good. I like that.
It is. It really is. So, you know, like I said, I'm sure we now have our target audience because we've said we are pro-choice. But our audience is obviously just women and men. Let me not just.
I was gonna say, don't disclaim the daddies.
We're not gonna count the daddies out because we got some stuff to teach y'all too.
Yep. This is, I don't want to say gender fluid because I don't want to mess it up, but any birthing person can listen to this podcast.
Yes. Any birthing person. Any person involved in the birth in any way, whether you're the support person, the family member, the person that's actually going to be giving birth. This podcast is for you to hopefully take something away and help you be more informed about the entire process.
Absolutely.
So yes,
any and everybody
who
wants to listen, or Kiki,
and because we're gonna do a whole lot of that too. Cut up. So with our audience, you know, obviously birthing persons, but even nurses, because Shay and I are two Black women, but we also work with white women who work in labor and delivery, who work in obstetrics, and who are very, very good at their job.
Yep. And
because they are so good at their job, they want to learn better ways to take care of their Black patients, to make them feel safe, to make them feel heard. And so they are our audience as well, because there are things, I mean, obviously that they don't know and they don't understand. Right. So they might not know why their patient is kind of a little standoffish at first when they walk in the room. Well, girl, you a white lady standing in front of me telling me all these things. I don't know you. I just met you literally 5 minutes ago when you walked in the room.
That reminds me of your hair pattern story. Was it you that told me that?
I have a hair pattern story.
We will circle back to this.
I was like,
there was a nurse, Black patient, white nurse. The nurse kept saying like that lady is crazy because she keeps hitting herself in the head.
This is not my story, but I do remember you telling me the story.
Oh my God!
Tell the story. Tell the story so we can get a general consensus of what we're talking about when we talk about how the cultures be crossing and the people do not be getting it.
Okay. Sorry, this is what you're gonna expect on this podcast. A lot of like here and there, but we do have a main premise, I swear. However, if you want to listen to this story, here you go. So there is a Black patient. She is postpartum, which means she has already had her baby, and a white nurse that comes in, and every time she comes in, this lady is like hitting herself in the head. And the nurse goes to give report. She's been with this woman all day, and the nurse goes to give report, and she's like, the patient is super sweet and everything. She was so nice. However, I really think she's crazy because every time I walk in the room, she is patting herself in the head and she's like hitting herself in the head. And she's like, I don't know what that means. Mind you, she's giving report to a Black nurse. And the Black nurse says,
I think I know where this is headed.
She got a bonnet on or braids or whatever. She was like, well, oh, wait, no. Let me back up.
Oh, God. Okay.
The nurse, I think she ended up having a bonnet on or something. Anyway, the Black nurse goes in to introduce herself to the patient, and she realizes that the patient is also Black, and the girl is hitting her head because her head itches. And, you know, we as a Black culture, that's what we do. We like, my God, like I ain't got a comb or nothing.
And if it's a wig, you are, I can't get to them braids under that wig cap. Oh, my God.
Okay, doubling back to the task at hand.
Listen,
but that's how cultures get crossed. I mean, all right.
Because what if they kept going with that report?
It could have been bad.
She had a social work consult.
She probably did have a social work consult. She probably did. She probably thought this lady is in a nut house, or she got a nervous tick. She probably had a neuro consult too.
Yeah, that's probably like, what is going on? Whole time.
My head is itching, baby.
Whole time I need to cut the stitch on this wig so I can get under here with a rat tail comb.
Jesus.
My God. Well, again, but those things happen way more often than you think. So yeah, our audience is gonna be far and wide, but that's what we want, because when more people know what they don't know, I think it really like opens up that conversation, opens up and closes that gap that's clearly there somewhere.
And you were talking about like nurses that want to know more. doctors too,
Mm-hmm.
anybody, the support person, if they didn't know, and it can be a cultural reference and they just want to be there for their person,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think anybody can benefit from this, honestly.
Yeah, very much so. So what should the people expect from the Laborhood?
What do you mean, what should they expect? You don't think that's different?
What should they expect from the Laborhood?
I think, one, you're gonna get a lot of this. You're gonna get a lot of kikiing, and some doubling back and some stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think our main premise here is to debunk a lot of the myths that come along with pregnancy, as well as give you guys some hospital. That's where most of our expertise is. Like I said, I do have a little bit of out of hospital birth, but if you're going into a hospital, we'll probably give you some hospital advice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't bring your mucus plug, but that's a whole nother episode for a whole nother story. I feel like people can also get some educational, like, statistics, factual evidence that says yay or nay to whatever somebody.
Yeah, because that's
on
TikTok be wrong. They be lying to y'all.
Not even all social media at this point.
All social media.
All social media at this point.
Yeah, some of that stuff be wrong. Like, real wrong.
Like, absolutely wrong.
And I go in the comments and y'all be eating it up. And I'm just like, my God, today my people are being led astray. And I am here to get y'all back on the right path.
And that's what we're here for. That's what we are here for.
It be real wrong. Real wrong.
Yeah. I know. What kind of things do you think our audience should expect?
The truth. I think they're going to be surprised at a lot of things that we say. Especially when it comes to, like, labor and the choices that they have and the things that they should do.
Very true.
Things that they shouldn't be doing.
Things that they shouldn't be worried about.
Yeah.
A lot of, yeah.
I'm gonna just let y'all know right now, you can raise your hands above your head. It's not gonna choke your baby with its umbilical cord. So let's just, stuff like that.
You know what?
And you don't need to shake your baby's head. You don't need to do it. Don't listen to your grandma. I know she means well. She means well. She really does. But tell her you don't have to do that. I promise you it will go back to the shape that it's supposed to go to.
And just to put this out here.
And don't put no cereal in that baby's bottle too early. Thank you. Okay.
Oh, that part. Yeah. Stop doing that. For real, y'all.
Stop messing that baby's stomach up so early. Stop.
And it's not even that. Like, these babies are putting on weight so fast. Mama, I know you want to sleep through the night, but
get that cereal out that bottle.
Not too early.
Out of your 6-week-old. Stop it.
Stop. 6 months, y'all. 6 months.
I'm going to get a pediatrician on here to tell y'all stop doing that. Okay.
Dang, I don't even know what my point was anymore.
But I do. I think there are a lot of truths that are going to be told.
Oh, I know what I was going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Everybody does not have an emergency C-section.
You know what? It's an episode about that. We're gonna
talk about that, but I'm gonna do a wraparound.
I'm gonna do a wraparound on that.
I just had to get that out in the open and say that right now on episode 1. Everybody does not have an emergency C-section. And I am not discounting the people who do have them.
Because I see them.
Because, we do them all the time. Yeah. However,
there are a lot
that are elective.
Are not emergent.
There are a lot that are urgent. And there are a lot that are not emergent at all. Yeah. At all.
But,
Okay, continue.
But guess what? That's why we're here. We're going to tell you what's for real and what's for fake.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really is the premise of what to expect.
Yeah.
Like, is a lot of truth, a lot of like you said, debunking a lot of myths about things, as far as, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone in comment sections on things and it's just like,
that's not right.
That's not how that works at all. At least that's not how it should work.
I was going to say, at least that's not how most people do it.
And that's not how we've practiced for the last 7 years, 6 or 7 years. And so Yeah, a lot of truths, a lot of, like I said, a lot of myths when it comes to things. Even post like shaving your baby's head. There is no such thing as a dry birth. My grandma said it the other day, and I said, "Mama, what is that?" Well, my water broke, and it was before I had the baby. I said, "Well, yeah, well, that was a dry." I said, "All right, we're gonna circle back around to that."
You know what? We really need to, because I hear that all the time, and my thing is, women have normal discharge on a regular basis. Period.
If it's dry, it's because you about to be menopausal.
Right.
Which is fine, you know. It's fine.
I mean, that's fine, but
yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a whole episode.
I'm gonna write that down.
Y'all wait on that. Y'all wait for that. I can't wait for that conversation.
I'm gonna write that down because that's gonna be a doozy. But I think that's what to expect from this podcast. So as we kind of wrap up, you know, this pilot episode was to just introduce ourselves and to let you guys know who we are, what we stand for, and what to expect in this podcast. But we want to hear from you guys.
Absolutely.
I know there are a lot of questions. Like I have seen questions put online. I literally have given birth advice more than I probably should have on the internet. But it wasn't bad. Okay. One of them was actually very good. I'm sure she's going to listen to this podcast because that's my girl. She also went to WSSU. She's not going to mind me telling this story because it's fine. I'm not going to tell her name. But it was baby number 3 for her.
Okay.
And
set it up.
And she was baby number 3 for her and was, you know, very much term. And had been laboring at home, just, you know, was hurting, but was like, oh, I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in. And I think I may have reached out to her. Like I saw, you know, she had been hurting. And I said, you know, girl, you might want to go on head in. Like, it's about that time. And she says, I'm waiting for my water to break. I said, oh, no. It's baby number 3, baby. You can't do that. You will have your baby at home.
I was going to say, she's going to have it in the car.
You will have your baby at home. And she was like, she was like, okay, I'm going to go in. She wasn't going in and had a baby, like, didn't even, like, get to get an epidural. Had a baby.
Got to the hospital. She would have been having a baby.
She would have put Tiana Taylor and had a baby on the toilet at the house.
But, okay, Tiana Taylor, she wanted to have her babies at home, right? I'm not making that up, right?
No, the second one, yeah, but not the first one.
I thought she wanted to have
that was an accident. No, that was an accident. That's why you can hear the 911 call. He was like, you can hear her screaming in the back. I'm gonna play it when this is over.
I was about to say, Tiana Taylor, if you hear this, my
girl, I love your hey girl, I love your stuff. But no, that was an accident.
Oh, I thought she wanted to do that.
No, but
I thought that was her plan all along. My bad.
Nope.
My bad, Tiana, if you hear
I don't think I'm almost certain, because that's why it was a big thing. Like, she was like, no, that wasn't the plan. It happened very, very quickly.
And we will talk about why that happened so quickly for her on another episode. Because there are certain things that happen. Yeah, stay tuned. Keep listening, you guys.
Yeah,
keep listening.
But we do want to hear from you guys. We have an Instagram. We want you to slide in our DMs. We want to hear from y'all, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like. I'm sure you will see us going live. Please join the lives when we go live. We want to chat with y'all so badly. We want any question that you want to have, any topics that are like burning in your soul.
Or even if like you see something on social media and you want us to like debunk it or say like, whether it's real. Right. Is this real or fake? Should I really be having my feet wrapped behind my head like that? Again, another story for another day. I saw something on the gram the other day.
Oh God, okay.
But you guys can talk to us at our Instagram, which is at the Laborhood Pod. You can email us at thelaborhood@gmail.com. We are also on Twitter at the Laborhood. Is that all of our social media handles?
I think so.
And you can look us up on LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, get on my LinkedIn. We are new to LinkedIn, so if you get on there and be like, what are y'all talking about? Just bear with us.
We are not tech savvy.
Baby. But yes, so I cannot wait to get started. I'm so excited. I was a bit nervous at the beginning, but now I'm
nervous.
like, let's get
Let's
into
do it.
it.
Let's do it.
Let's
Let's do
get
it.
into it. Let's get into it.
All right.